Morning, traders. Dale's good trader boys. Big week, election week. So everything's gonna be happening tomorrow as they count the ballots and so forth. We find out pretty late sometime tomorrow night who the president's going to be for the next 4 years. So expect a lot of volatility in the market. A lot of volatility. So things are looking promising this morning. Markets are up this morning. So that's a good thing there. So I mean, if you look at here's the Dow 30 right there. Dow 30 is a sea of green. Absolutely every stock on the Dow 30 is up today, and you can see here the biggest, highest price stocks are up well over up 1%. So that's right there. So we come over, we look at the S&P's up 1.2. Nasdaq's a lagger here. It's the weaker of the four major indexes of the stock market here. It's only at 0.8. You got the Dow on a charge here at 1.4, and the Russell just follow on through here at 1.3. So you can see money's probably flowing into banks and into the small caps here. So if you look at we go Goldman and IBM over here, 1.4% on Goldman Sachs right there. So that's really pushing through. The only stock here we got down right now, the big techs, and you can see these aren't up that much, is Facebook. And Facebook's a pretty good setup right now. So let's jump over and take a look at the charts here. Not too much to report other than what we looked at last week. We're going to stay on the larger time frames here. This is the daily chart of the S&P 500 futures here. So that's where we're going to be. Where we're going to be looking at. So here, your daily demand level, and we almost got down to that daily demand level there on Friday, and then we had the big push up into the close of the market. So all that really was is all the people that were short for the week are buying back their short positions. And all shorting is when you're trading in downward direction, making money going down. So you have to sell the high price. To close the transaction, you have to buy. So big buyers came in, closing their short positions, so they didn't carry the risk over the weekend. And that gave us that big push up in the coming into the close of the market on Friday afternoon. So we have traded higher this morning. And we have traded higher. Let's just drop it down. We'll come down and we'll look at the 30-minute time frame, just so you can see where what we call the Globex high is. And the Globex high is the high of the market in the futures overnight transactions. So the futures open up at 6 p.m. on Sunday. And you can see right here, the futures have traded all the way up to this high right here, 33.23, 33.22 at 5:30 this morning. So now we get a little bit of retracement off that. And we're starting to develop a little bit of a base here at the 13 EMA here on the 30-minute time frame. So things are looking good. We need to get above this high right here, and get above this high right here before really committing any capital. And if you do commit any capital to the markets today or tomorrow before the elections, be very aggressive managing your risk, be very aggressive taking profits. I would suggest taking smaller positions. If you're new to trading, I would suggest to stay out of the markets. What's going to happen here? No one really knows. But expect a lot of volatility. Supply and demand levels do work in volatile markets. They work exceptionally well, but you've got to have a high level of skill to know what is a supply level, what is a demand level, and where to take action. So if you're new to this, don't be trying to make $1 million off these massive, fast-moving markets, because what will generally happen is you'll lose. Right? So be safe, protect your capital, protect that hard-earned money, right? and be smart about this. Okay? There's a huge opportunity here, and we don't have to run in to making silly mistakes when there's a massive opportunity with how low the markets are at this point in time. So be smart. Be smart is the message there. So looking at the Russell is what one we'll look at right now. So let's take a look at RTY. And on the Russell 2000, let's come back. We'll look at the daily time frame here. Everything's running a little slow this morning, kind of like me. All right, so on the daily time frame, Russell is looking absolutely we've got almost a confirmed pivot. All right, so remember, a pivot is just a change in direction. So this is a pivot low right here. What we need is a trade above the candle's high to confirm that pivot, close above the candle's high to confirm the pivot. So you can see right now where we're at here, we've just got to close above Friday's high and that's a confirmed pivot, which means we've got a pivot low in play and we can go higher. So in the Russell 2000 on the daily time frame, we've got this pivot high, which is higher than the previous pivot high, and we're looking to put in a pivot low higher than the previous low. So we're still in an uptrend in the small cap market. So this is powerful, this is strong. So being strong and powerful, still being in the uptrend, this is what the market is telling us, is this is where we want to commit capital. So an exchange traded fund, an ETF, exchange traded fund that you can trade on this is TNA, or now it's 3 times leveraged. Right, so there's some skill that comes into play and understanding of that. You've got to understand what you're putting money into. Just a direct of this is IWM. IWM is just a straight up direct, like buying a stock. There's no leverage to it. Very simple, very straightforward. And that's a great place to be looking to purchase. Now on the IWM, you can look at a triple income strategy, right, which is a longer term play that is phenomenal for IRAs, TFSAs, where we can go in, make a lot of money, and pay no taxes. So the triple income strategy is buying the stock, okay, getting the dividend if there is one, and then selling short-term options against that position to generate an income. And then we take that income and we buy a protected put on the transaction to protect us. Right? Any transactions you're going to enter into and hold over this week coming into the elections, you should have insurance on it, or even better, just don't trade. If you don't understand what insurance is or how to buy insurance or how to protect your position, okay, don't get involved in the market until the election's done and things settle down a little bit. So on the Russell 2000s here, on the daily time frame, this is your 50-day moving average here. You can see that's being used as a resistance. Get above that, right? We can then push up. There's going to be a level of supply here, unfilled sell orders right in the market here, working with that 20-day moving average right there. That's going to be a great area to get a retracement to then push higher if the market's going to continue higher over time. So Russell's looking really good, really promising. All right, you just break this down just so we can see where the Globex high session is in this market. We are somewhat close to it. So looking strong, looking good, looking powerful. And just remember, this market can break all the way down here. Now, if we break this low here, we can get all the way back down into these lows and lower, okay, before turning around. So looking good, looking promising here. We prefer this, seeing the green moving to the upper direction, but this is your Globex high. And this is the area here. There's a level of supply right here, right, that created the selling in the early hours, 6 o'clock this morning, that we need to get above before we can be really, really bullish on this. Okay, so take your time, be patient, wait for your setups, follow your rules, and everything will be okay. So now onto the NASDAQ. NASDAQ futures, NQ futures here. Let's come out to the frame. Like I said this morning, this is the weaker market, and in the smaller time frame right here, it is showing us it's a weaker market as well. So okay, this is weekly chart. Big picture, we're in a weekly demand area right now. Man, my computer's slow this morning. Too many things open and happen all at one time. That's how I start my week. Hey, get prepared, get set, have everything out in front of you, and have a great understanding. So on the weekly chart, down to the 20-week moving average here. Down to the 20-week moving average. This is where we closed last week at the 20-week moving average. We are currently trading above that week moving average. We do have a weekly demand level just below us here. There's another weekly demand level right here. This is a reaction off the previous level though. Okay, so we do have a level on top of level. So there's a lot of demand all the way down to 10,300. Right, 10,300 is a lot of demand through this area. Now, news, don't be surprised to get a spike down to this area on that 50-week moving average, and then potentially moving up aggressively, because anything can happen in that news. Expect massive volatility. If you remember 4 years ago, massive volatility on election night. Markets went down aggressive. And then we found out Trump was the winner, and markets exploded to the upside. Absolutely exploded. So for the futures traders out there that are very, very seasoned, very, very experienced, election nights are absolutely unbelievable. A lot of movement, highly leveraged markets. Just got to know what you're doing, and you can make a lot of money. Right here on the daily, right, there is this daily area of demand. This is where we came down to on Friday. Touch that area right there and push back up. Now you can see right here, Okay, we want to be up closer to these highs to show that there's strength in this market, and that is not currently happening right now. So the Nasdaq, we just don't see the big inflows into the Nasdaq. Right now, a couple stocks to keep an eye on, especially in the Nasdaq, in the tech industry, are any that are stay-at-home plays. So PTON, Peloton, Lulu with their training mirror, etc. CRM, Salesforce, not such a big one, but Zoom, ZM's in a great place right now. So there's a lot of opportunities, and I'm going to be posting some transactions in the trading room today of setups. Not so much to look at entering today, but definitely there's something to keep an eye on to see if we get strength in those stocks, wait for confirmation buyers are involved, and then looking at how do we participate and jump on board with those. So we're demand level developed. Now, this is a Globex demand level, so there's not a lot of strength and power here, but I love these formations. Right here is a level of resistance. Base, and then we had the breakout looking for the retracement back into the 50-period moving average in a level demand that was formed from a breakout of resistance. Okay, so these transactions here, this setup, I hunt for and love. Right, so this is a phenomenal area right here to get involved on the Nasdaq, right, for the trader. Now, keep your position small, keep your risk exposure small, and if we do get strength in this position, right, you can add to it on strength. Right, but don't take full-size positions right now in this market environment. Right, now, the next thing is we can also break down. So right here, we get developing a little base. If we get a solid push to the downward direction here, breaking through all of this consolidation area, then look for the retracement back up, look for the short play, and we can go lower. Right? Remember, the markets do have a long way to fall after being so high. Right? And there's a lot of news coming into play that's going to have a massive effect on this. So there's a quick update on the major indexes of the S&P, the Russell, and the NASDAQ, and where they're positioned before the market opens here. We'll do a update later through the week. Okay, so have a phenomenal week, have a phenomenal trading day, and may your charts be green.